Hello, welcome to another tonal landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is called Riffing on Julius Jacobus van de Sande Bakhuyzen 6x8. Number 2, because it's the second riff. I don't remember the size of the other one. Oh, that was done a long time ago, and this was inspired by that in a way. I've got a tale to tell. I'm calling it a riff, but the honest truth is it changed so dramatically from Julius's original. It's hardly recognizable. It could have easily gotten away with just saying I came up with it. But if you're interested to see what's up, what do I mean? Members area, the live video is there. And at the beginning of all the recent live members area videos, I put my reference image up. In this case, I put my adjusted reference image up, and I put Julius's original up. And one of the big changes I made is we've got this river, and we got the tree you see me painting right now. By the way, we're working on some MDF that's been prepped with some house paint. 2 good coats just to make sure it's gonna, keep the paint from absorbing into the wood. Anyway, we're gonna be drawing the river or stream here coming up, and in his original painting, we had this bank, which looks like I'm fixing to draw right there. Yep. He had a tree coming out of that bank and then a tree back behind. And originally it was a tilted tree. Now, I don't like tilted trees. If they are tilted, it's going to be some kind of serpentine thing like I do with the coastal scenes. I just don't like a tree that's tilted, and I like trees that are, straight. That's me. I don't think it works compositionally hardly ever. Now, I'm not saying that I love you. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm singing. Uh, I'm not saying I'm better than Julius. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I have my own sensibilities when it comes to composition, and I have to be true to that. And that's one of the reasons why I do a lot more riffing from the masters these days than I do actual studies. Now, that said, I've been going back through the older videos on the channel and updating the description areas, mostly so my books there, and other pertinent information that might have changed. It was 10 years ago, so but I am reviewing each video in full, and in some cases it's very interesting because a lot has changed about my process. I originally started with the 100 days. Now I've reviewed all those, and fortunately most of them like 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, but very educational, and I did my best to do quick but faithful studies in that whole series. And then there's the past masters after that, and then the second and third past masters, same idea. And then after that, occasionally you'd see me do, in fact, I think it was a couple of years ago now, we did a big series of Georgia nest studies at an 8 by 12 size, and all of those were faithful as well. So I've done a lot of that, but where my head's at now is I'm not very interested in that. First of all, I've made studies of most of the paintings I was interested in making studies of by all the tonalist masters. There are a few, though. I think the last one that was up on the channel, maybe, that's a riff, and that's based on one of those 100 days. This is not. So the story behind this was I had to find a video to put up, and I had been sitting on my last riff after Julius Jacobus, and I'm just going to keep it short in there, from April of last year, and it really did great on the channel. It was really, I love that painting. I have it. I think I still have it in my studio. Um, and I was thinking, why haven't I done more scenes on this guy? I don't know anything really. I had done a study of him way back when. I think not in one of the past Masters series. I had done a study after Joyce, but I didn't know much about him. I still don't, but I did collect some good images, and a friend of the channel sent me some more. And this is based on one of those. And the reason I liked it was really that tree you saw that we're painting there, and the way everything goes off in the shadow and the sky opens up. This composition you see here is the kind of composition that I like. Now I had debated, and I might I make a good argument for moving that tree over a little bit more, but I think it works fine the way it is, and heck, we could balance it out by putting a little painting of a bird in there. Every now and again, I have people ask me if I do that, and I have done. I have put a couple of flying birds, but it was such a cliche when I was a kid. You always have these little W birds in the sky. Yeah. And we're gonna have an ad for the book coming up, and then I want to talk about painting process, how mine's changed, and maybe some ideas that could be helpful to you. I think, however, here's the book, 13 years of encapsulated experience, starting back 10 years ago, actually. I was thinking about writing a book then, and I kind of got away from it. I found the whole idea a bit overwhelming. I was going to have a guy help me, even. But I ended up taking it on, and due to one of the lockdowns here, and I thought, well, geez, I got nobody coming to my studio. This might be the best opportunity I have to really get a book going together, and that's what I did. Yep, and it's, I think, a good book. I've been reviewing a lot of landscape painting books recently as well. In preparation for some other activities that are going to go on. I'm pretty happy with the way I painted this stream or river. You can really get tighten up on this reflected thing, and to watch out for that, because the reflections in the water should never be that tight. I don't think they should be loose, and things roughly reflected in the right places. Like, I don't get real technical about making sure I've got the blue in the exact right spot it would be reflected or any of that, but I think I did a pretty good job of pulling it off here. Anyway, so I've been going through paintings from 10 years ago. Now, 10 years ago I was 5 years solidly into my journey, pretty much full time. So I was and have been selling stuff all the way through. But I by no means was as good in 2015 as I am now. And the reason I'm going to have a caveat there, I would say the best things that I did back then and even before hold up with my work now. And I think once you hit a certain level of mastery, that's the case. Your strong earlier, and well, not my earliest work, but my strong, work that I did after, getting quite a few paintings under my belt, it holds up. But I had a lot more iffy stuff, and I had a lot of things that my biggest issue, I think, was like, you'll see this painting. It's going to get done in one color pass, wet on wet, and that's it. I'm leaving it alone. I did do a little tiny touch up on it this morning, just to straighten out that reflection a little bit. I thought it actually looked okay in the drawing, but I didn't really complete it properly, and I saw that the first thing when I walked in today. Actually, I did this painting yesterday, or was it? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Anyway, I'm really pleased with the way it came out. It has a nice fresh quality, and now, if the other thing you might notice is in the reference image and in the members area, my adjusted, that it's just a bunch of generic gray clouds. There's no blue in it even. So the sky here bears little resemblance to what I had in the reference. But I might point out to you that that's not a bad thing. Some of you may be aware that I reuse. Well, actually, it would be if you're in the members area and you're paying attention. You can see I reuse the same skies in my reference all the time, but no two paintings ever look the same, because I always follow an interior guide when painting. So I'll get promptings like, well, let's try a little of this, let's try a little of that, and then just always move through it. Now, and getting back to what I was saying, this is pretty much alla prima. I did the drawing underpainting in the morning, and I came back, mixed this. I had mixed all the colors in the morning as well. Came back and just painted the rest of it. And that is a good approach if you're working full time. You know, you can break up your painting process into various stages. Back in the day, I would do all my drawings. I would work on 18 scenes or more at a time, knowing that some of them weren't going to make it. I would do all the drawings. I would do studies for everything. That's a topic for another video, because really I want to talk more about overworking. It's almost inevitable. That's why there's a lot of times things I would like to do and add to my paintings, but I don't. I don't do it. I just leave it at the alla prima, fresh stage. And the reason for that is, I think, and you'll hear this all the time in the members area when you're watching the painting come together live. You'll hear me say, "That's it. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let it breathe. I'm going to let it live," because there's something to be said for you perceiving the reference, whether it's a plein air painting outdoors, or you have a photographic reference. Doesn't really matter, but that you're looking at something and then you're making a painting from it. There's something to be said for that impetus, the human impetus that is, I'll say, oh, okay, I'll start with some blue, and then I'll put some gray clouds in, and then I'll do some lighter clouds, and I'll put some more blue in, and then, okay, I guess that looks fine. Let's do the darkest bits of and I always work the same way. But just because I have the same approach, sky, darks in the landscape, coming up to the lightest in the landscape, just because I do that doesn't mean that the painting is not a challenge. In fact, I have to tell you, the one today was just very different. I may put it up on the channel. We'll have to see. I've decided I'm going to have a look at it tomorrow when I come in. Just weird reference and a weird painting for me. And I contemplated that there. I have done a large one recently that I ended up leaving for a second color pass. And that was, one is there's a lot more exertion. Two, I really want to get more elements of my original small painting in there. And three, it's just going to look better that way, I believe. So now I have done, and I do believe that the best approach on large paintings is to try and do them in the same amount of time that you would do a smaller painting, just using a larger brush. And I have done that, and I've got some of that work in galleries, and it's for sale, and hopefully it'll do well, Anyway, what was I doing? Well, back in the day, I was, underpainting, let it dry, do the color pass. Should have just let that alone. But then I would put it back on the easel, do a little glazing, a little dry brushing, a little extra strokes, push highlights a little further, which you usually need to do if you're glazing, because glazing will darken things. And a lot of times the paintings look really nice. Don't think that that work wasn't looking nice, but some of it didn't look nice as if I had just left it alone and left that initial expression. That's valuable. Now, later on, when your future self comes in, that's not the same person. So, yes, it's very similar. And in my case, I'm a professional, so there are times when I have to do that. But I really, really want to weigh that seriously, because there's a lot that you're losing by going over that initial fresh painting. You're better off just doing a bunch of those and then getting rid of the ones that didn't come off. Or if you need to, yes, you can go in and paint on it some more. Why not? That's all part of the process. And for your part, my advice to you is don't hesitate about doing that. I'm just telling you what's wise and true for me. you may have to find that you need to overwork a lot of paintings before you learn the lesson yourself. That was definitely the case for me, and really, really comes home hard when you see it in video form, because there's a place in a lot of those older videos where I go, no, that looked good. Anyway, that's it for today's video, midweek video, and thanks for sticking with me as I ramble through this. And I really appreciate you. Until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble. God bless you and your family, and please fight the power.